Hi, this is David Marsh with eminitradingstrategies.com. You see we're out of no zone here. Our long-term filter has just gone short, so I want to hurry up and get a pullback trade placed in here at 1070.50. Let's do this quick. Kind of slow here today. And because the long-term filter is still short during its 3 bars of its signal, I'm not going to be able to show that signal, that chart. Just don't have enough room. During that time, we would avoid any long position. So right now you see a long EET trade. Okay, Pro Indicator version 2 will show the trades, but I teach you the rules. This is not a valid long trade. It's expected to lose. Here's a stop loss. It may very well lose. I mean, it could still win, right? But it's a trade we would avoid. So during the 3 bars of the long-term filter, I would only take a short trade, which right now would be the pullback trade. So normally coming out of no zone, I want to take the NSE. But because the long-term filter has just triggered short, I want to avoid the NSE and try to take a short position. So as you can see, the EET lost, so the rules saved us from a losing trade. And then we'll see if we can get short here on a pullback. Now if the pullback cancels, no biggie. The long-term filter is still short, but if we get a cancel pullback and it comes back down, good chance a long-term filter will be done, and then I can then take the long NSC. In fact, if it worked out right, I can take a pullback trade, try to grab 4 ticks off of that long-term filter, give that time to finish itself out, then still take the NSC to the upside. So either I'll get the pullback and lose, get the pullback and win, or the pullback will cancel. And at this point, the long-term filter is just about done. It's got about another 1,000 ticks or so before it's over. So we'll just see what happens. And even with the short-term filter ending, I can still take a pullback trade. Okay, it's kind of a catch-22 here because you say, well, there's a cancel pullback trade. So now I know I can't take the pullback trade. The long-term filter is no longer relevant. So what I want to look for now to help me decide, do I want to take the first NSC out of no zone? That's a high probability trade. Okay, but if we start seeing some heavy conviction to the downside, I want to go with the trend and take the pullback trade. You can see we kind of bottomed out there for a little bit, but if we start breaking down here and really moving, I'm going to go with the pullback trade and try to grab 4 ticks and then still try to catch the NSE coming out of no zone. Okay, now the goods to that are is that let's go ahead and put the entry in 69.50, is that I may catch them both. I may get filled at 69.50, make 4 ticks, but the bad part of that is I may get filled on the pullback trade. The market turns around and we get the canceled, and then we get the NSE, and then I can't take the NSE because I've elected to take the pullback. But now that that's canceled, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the NSE coming out of no zone. I need to set my parameters up here. I'm going to, now let's just keep it how it is. This thing's going to fire off here in a minute. 1070.5 is my worst case fill on the NSE. So I'm getting ready to go here, and I always enter limit order at my worst case fill. So we will wait for the trade to fire off here. And then we'll just see if we can get a one and done here today. So hopefully she'll fire off quick. I got to keep the video short, and it's kind of get a bit long here. There we go. Let's jump in. We're filled at 70.25. We're looking to make just 4 ticks, just a quick one and done. Now I want to note now a couple things. This NSC is a high probability trade. Doesn't mean it's going to win, but during that time the rules say we would avoid an EET short when there's a high probability setup. Okay, so we would not take an EET if one fires off. Perhaps when Ninja 7 is completely ready, we'll hopefully be able to go in there and program it to where it will suppress those trades, but with Ninja 6.5 we can't yet do that, so we've got to, I of course teach you the rules anyways, and you should know not to take an EET here. So we'll just see if we can make a quick point on this trade, quick one and done today. And I'll drag my stop loss up to break even or entry as soon as I get 4 ticks of profit. See, I've got 2 points exposure and won't necessarily lose 2 points on this trade. If this trade moves against me, if I get a short NSE, that's disregarded. But if I get what I call a chop signal, and of course I teach that in my day trading course, I would either reverse or flatten out. And in this case, I would more than likely reverse and try to recover what I lost on this trade. So just because I have 8 ticks of stop loss doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to lose 8 ticks. I may lose 4, 5, 6 ticks. So, well, let's pause for just a minute. We're really getting low on time here, and hopefully this trade won't take too long here. I know it might bounce up, but let me pause for just a moment. All right, here we go. We're back. Normally I set we're already out. Look at that. We're already out. Normally I set Ninja up to move my stop loss up to break even once it hits 4 ticks, but we got out so quick. So there you go. First trade today. Today's June 25th, 2010. We were looking for some pullback trades. They canceled. Okay. See what I mean? It worked out pretty good. The pullback trade canceled because the likelihood of it being a successful trade went down. So and I had even said if we take the pullback trade, we risk missing the NSE out of no zone because we're taking a pullback. But back over here, the long-term indicator was short, so we had to avoid this. The long-term indicator or long-term filter, phrase it what you will, is now behind us. So we took that trade, made a quick one and done profit, and that's how I trade, guys. Here it is, just 10 minutes after the opening bell, and we're done for the day. So thanks for watching.